Hey everybody! So we back for another review of Real Housewives of Potomac. Once again, thank you to all of you who watch the videos, who like the videos, who have subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much. And if you're watching this for the first time, please be sure to like, subscribe, share. Okay. So Real Housewives of Potomac, season 8, episode 5, Pie in the Austin Sky. First of all, these taglines um have become increasingly painful to watch. You know how you get so used to something sometimes you don't even hear it anymore, and you almost forget how bad it is. That dynamic isn't happening this season or at all, and they're awful. And I don't know who approved these. Anyway, let me tell y'all something. I just want y'all to know, and I try not to be. No, I'm lying. I told y'all I was right. I knew Wendy was full of shit. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Okay? And I don't even be riding for nobody that hard on this show. But I know bullshit when I hear it. So Ashley, Mia, and Giselle meet up to shop for Austin, Texas. Okay. Can somebody please explain to me why the budget is so low for this show? Like Austin, like fucking Austin, Texas. That's a trip you need to go shopping for? Bitch, please. Yeah, I mean, if we gonna go shopping, go to Vegas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we gonna stay on the continent. Anyway, Giselle asks if they are staying in a 5-star hotel with her broke, tacky ass. She probably don't even have 5 fucking whole fake nails on her hand. Anyway, they start talking about Naneka and Wendy's fight. How could they not? All right. Ashley's confessional look with the lavender eyeshadow, I'm gonna give it to her. It was cute. It was cute. That works for her. Keep it. Okay? All right, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just stay with it. All right. Anyway, then Giselle says she called Jamal after that whole incident and asked about those spirits and shrines and stuff. And I just find it amazing. You and Jamal can talk about everybody but the bitch that sent the packet of that information Monique read you to death with. And I question any pastor and the rest of the so-called Christians on this cast that give all these all this credit to demons like it has more power than my God. I'm not here for that. I'm not. Okay, so y'all have some weak faith and y'all are really carrying on. Next, Wendy and Eddie, they go out to lunch with each other. Because we definitely needed to see this. Okay, Wendy thinks that Naneka's sole motive is to come after her in this group. That's what she tells Eddie, which I find interesting as I was watching because Naneka actually said that is what Wendy has accused her of doing, and why her family called and her mother specifically was submitting her name to a shrine. Wendy, you're telling on yourself, and this whole scene where Wendy and Eddie was designed to make them look unbothered, like they have no idea. I'm not buying it. I'm not. Wendy's an insecure individual, okay? It doesn't matter that she has education. It doesn't matter that she's pretty. It doesn't matter. She has never been, I'm telling y'all, she's never been that girl the way she wanted to be. And this show, even on this show, she's not that girl. And so anything that threatens that, she doesn't like it. Period. And it's showing itself. So then we get Naneka and Ike. The first part of this episode is boring. Naneka is at the doctor to discuss her fertility. Okay. She is saying that people expect when you're married to have a baby within a year, and that's just our culture. First of all, you and Wendy sometimes be taking that culture shit to a whole nother level. Girl, that's everybody's culture, putting the pressure on women to have babies and to be married and to not focus on oneself or to punish them for having goals of their own. All right? So people still think there's something wrong with you now if you don't have a husband or kids, okay? And God forbid you have education, then that's all the reason they need to explain to you why you will never be happy and that you're going to die alone, which I find amazing because I had no idea dying was a group activity. Nevertheless, her nosy ass family is saying to her over, FaceTime, whatever, is saying by not getting pregnant, he's going to leave you. If that's okay for a man to do when you can't conceive, and trust me, I know men that do it. I've known of men that did it. Okay, so that person doesn't love you, and that person's a piece of shit. Period. They are. Okay, so I don't want to hear it. Also, Naneka, it's giving that you don't even really want a child. Okay? It appears like you were just married because that's what you were supposed to do, and that you're having a baby because that's what you're supposed to do, but not because you want it. And all that's going to do is breed resentment for that child you did not want. Okay? So you need to take some stock in yourself. Also, that doctor was on my damn nerves. He was really dismissive of Nneka as the woman, her body, and her feelings, and was doing that sexist thing where he's talking and entertaining her husband's bullshit. Like he knows about her body more than she does, just because he's a man. He couldn't be my doctor for shit. Anyway, we get Mia and Gordon. Another set of confusing shit. And not confusing like, oh, I don't get it. It's just ridiculous confusing, like a bunch of bullshit. So they are in couples counseling. Yeah, because that's going to help. Anyway, that's mean. Oh, well. So she's talking about the financial problems they're having. And she said he is working so much harder now to make more money and expand their partnership, so on and so forth, after getting kicked out of the business. Then she brings up that she retained a divorce attorney because he's ignoring her and they're not happy. They're fighting a lot. It's a lot of tension. Okay. She said they were fighting, and Mia felt like he wasn't listening to her. She said she grew up in an abusive household, okay? And she said she didn't want her kids to hear mommy and daddy fighting, and so that's why she was willing to get a divorce. I understand that. I totally understand that. Okay? This is where she lost me, as Mia always does, because Mia don't make no goddamn sense. All right, then she says she wants Gordon to retire so he can be a better dad. Bitch, stop playing with me. You just said, really, the source of so many tensions y'all have. The source of the tension y'all have is based on money. You mean to tell me, as a man and as a businessman, that he's supposed to retire on what? Y'all have had to downsize. Y'all have had to take things out. You're in a smaller house. You're in a smaller home. You wanted all these things. You were renting a house for $10,000 a month, Mia. You don't know shit about money. He's supposed to stop working. For what? He can't. Like, that's some dumb shit. But it does come out of your mouth. Oh, well. So one of their friends, well, their lawyer ultimately committed suicide. She talks about that later. Because I didn't really understand it in the context of the therapy thing. But it's getting to me. And I know. I've had 2 really close encounters with suicide that have been terribly painful. One of which was my 8th grade student in 2021. I don't think there's many things that could ever get you ready for it. The shock, the pain, the guilt, could I have just done something? So Mia, who will never see this, but I understand. Their therapy session barely made any sense, essentially because they seem to have 2 separate ideas about the problems that are eating at their marriage. And I also think the therapist was kind of like, what the fuck? Where y'all are just not even, it's just a mess. All right, so then we get everybody preparing for the trip. Ashley's on the phone talking to Daisy, the nanny. Okay? And said, I know the kids are going to be with Michael at night, but where will they be during the day? I said, bitch, you don't know where your kids are going to be? Huh? See, that's that dumb shit I can't rock with. Anyway, they meet at the airport and go to Austin, Texas, okay? Because they just living it up. All right, so Ashley puts people in the cars based on their astrological signs. Ash, that's a dumbass way to spend your time, but that don't surprise me. So Robin doesn't like that she's in the van with Candace. Honestly, bitch, you know you aren't going to say shit to Candace because you're not about that life. Okay, unless somebody bring up wine. So you can just kind of miss me because I don't even know how an argument would go with y'all. I really don't. It's just a waste because Robin is just so lame. And her and Wendy are just lame like that. So miss us with the bullshit. Anyway, what the fuck was Giselle wearing? That straw hat that she just put on. Where did she get that trash? What thrift store bottom, like, bargain, like, what the fuck? Whose garage did she get that out of? Like, enough. Like, enough. Oh my gosh. So when they got inside the hotel, why were these bitches acting like they had never eaten or been to a restaurant before? Candace screaming like you had lost your mind. about tacos of all things, like a garbage pail kid, I was not here for it. You were acting like you had never seen a taco before in your life. They have tacos. All, like, are you for real? That shit was just so excessive. Like, girl, calm down. So Karen starts talking about that pie analogy that don't nobody get in relation to her issues with Robin. Half the pie is in the freezer. The other half is cut in half. And Robin was like, that's a quarter. I said, well, Robin, you know what? You be on top of your math. Except for when it comes to your taxes. But nevertheless, anyway, so that's that. And I don't know why it was so funny to me when Karen was like, yeah, that pie, I bought it from Safeway. And if y'all don't know, in the DMV, Safeway is like the main chain grocery store. It's not a Whole Foods or anything. She was like, I got it for $2. I don't know why that was funny to me, but I cracked up. Anyway, excuse me. They go to their rooms and they have a view of, construction sites. Okay? No, is that great? No, but I imagine if you don't pay for the trip, it's just what it is. You can go downstairs and get your room changed, though. It ain't like, I refuse to believe Austin is all booked up. Anyway, so Wendy, I have to give it to you with the fashions, especially in this episode. That much you did do, and you did it well. All right, so Karen and Candace check in with Wendy about the Nneka situation because it's hard to ignore. That shit was a mess. So Wendy says she doesn't know Nneka from a can of paint, and she doesn't feel like she has anything else to say. I was like, okay, girl, you full of shit. I'm not going for this bullshit. Wendy don't have me fooled. And I don't even understand why people like her. I don't. Like, she gives nothing to me. Except for showing off her education once in a while. She don't know what she want to do with her life. She's married. We don't really see her and Eddie go to work at all. Unless Wendy is trying a new idea. Like, I just don't get it. Anyway, Giselle came down with Nneka. Of course she did. Simply because Wendy's not here for her. So she just we all know Giselle don't like nobody, okay? She ain't here for nobody, period, but herself. But see, the problem is Giselle, in the process of trying to, get to Wendy by coming down with Nneka, it made you look worse than usual. And by worse, I am really talking about just the physical aspect of it. Because, darling, you should never do a side-by-side Nneka. Nneka has very, very, and I noticed it, very nice legs. Like, she has a model's body. And you coming down next to her with her face beat and everything, that was not the move. I'm just going to tell you, for the camera's sake, for your sake, while we on your sake, don't ever do that again. Because it makes you look just not cute. Okay, anyway. So Karen brings up the elephant in the room between Giselle and Candace, okay? We haven't really gotten enough of that. Like, she's mentioned it, but we haven't really gotten to that. Because that's a big-ass lie you told, bitch. All right, so then Candace says that Candace goes off and goes, she thinks if she ignores me, I will go away, and my black ass is still here. Okay. Okay. So then Giselle pulls that bullshit ass white woman shit, that move by saying, for my safety and my kids' safety, I don't want anything to do with her. First of all, I was confused for a minute. I was like, your safety from what? It really took my brain a second to figure out what she was talking about. And when I realized that bitch was referencing Candace and Chris, for real, I said, oh, bitch, get the fuck out of here. Cut that shit out. But you know what, Candace? You tried to cozy up to Giselle when Giselle took your side because she was jealous of Monique. Okay? And you kept talking about how dangerous she was and all that other old bullshit. Y'all stay gassing up the fuck shit. And it's whack. It's whack. Okay? Anyway. So, Giselle is continuing with this fucking lie. Y'all had a friendship. You and Candace, and you had a good friendship relationship with Chris. If he said, let me talk to you at a reunion when Candace is losing it, he was probably asking, can I talk to you away, close the door, because there's always cameras everywhere to get behind the scenes footage. Okay? And that's probably what he was doing at the worst. Okay? Nobody believes you. You know you fucking lied. Stop. Just stop. And you owe her a big ass fucking apology. So the fact that you projected every single thing that went down with Juan and some other woman in Canada or wherever the hell she was on Candace and her husband is some bullshit. This bitch, I promise you, I don't know why people continue to fall for it. season after season. But I'm telling y'all, this bitch Giselle will not be satisfied until she sees every married woman on this show in a situation worse than the one Jamal left her in that led to their divorce. She's fucking miserable. And y'all need to leave her like the odd woman out. I don't know why y'all keep trying that bullshit. She need her ass whooped. That's who should have got their ass whooped. Anyway, Mia and Robin decide to take a walk instead of going straight to the pool. So Mia basically is telling her that there's something she wants to talk to her about. She apparently didn't want to do it in front of the other women. We all know why. And she said, because I feel like you would understand. So she tells her the story. And this is where I understood what was happening. Mia tells the story about their lawyer stealing money from them. And they had him disbarred for doing it. And then he killed himself. And she basically said, I'm just telling you, Robbie, because I know you went through something kind of similar. And I can only imagine the turmoil of various feelings, right? Of course, Mia didn't want that to happen. I don't care. We can sit here and talk about people being dumb, this and that. There's a line. You know good and goddamn well, neither one of them ever wanted something like that to happen. What they wanted was for their money not to be stolen. That's it. And, you know, she brings up like he has a wife and a young daughter. That's a lot. Woman to woman, mother to mother, you never want something like that to happen. And honestly, Robin, if you could make a regular habit of trying to be friends with other people and allow people to kind of like you a little bit, maybe I wouldn't hate you so much. You still bore the entire fuck out of me, and I think this cast is too big, so you can go, Wendy can go. We can keep Mia a little bit just for kind of entertainment when she does what Mia does, which is dumb. But like, you'd be a little bit more likable if you were staying in that role. And she did make a good point. She was like, I promise y'all weren't the only ones. He had probably been doing that to multiple people and was afraid it was going to catch up with him. But it's still tough because a life is a life. There's no bringing anybody back from death. All right, so then back at the ranch. Anyway, Karen brings up that Giselle at pickleball, she goes, you were quiet at pickleball. And Giselle was like, yes, I was. Karen was like, alarmingly quiet. Anybody who talks that much, all of a sudden get quiet, you should get suspicious. So Candace said that was a harsh allegation. She's saying this to Nneka. She was like, if you believe it. And she was like, if that's the case, you need to hear what Wendy has to say. And do you really believe that? And Nneka says, yes, I do believe it because they said it. Like, what the fuck? Like, Nneka is not fucking lying. I keep trying to tell y'all. She's not. I'm not going for that shit. So Giselle brings up that her mother, this messy bitch, she said, well, your mother has prayed against people before, like Mia. I had no knowledge of this. So Wendy starts to read the social media quote. But you remember, Robin and Mia come late, right? And Wendy just told her, she was like, look, I'm bringing this up because Giselle is referencing it. And Mia was like, oh, I had actually almost forgot about that. Thanks for bringing it up again. I'm just like, oh, God, here we go. So Wendy starts reading that comment, ended in Holy Ghost fire, thunderstorm, something like that. Bitch, simply being willing to read it doesn't make you look like, hey, because I'm willing to face this issue. See, I'm on my stuff, this, that, and the other. I'm telling you, Wendy is one of those people who has done well in school, gotten an education, and for that reason, thinks she can outsmart people even when she does dumb shit. She's clearly fucking lying. And you're fucking lying to a lawyer who went to school and was trained how to twist the truth for the benefit of clients. So I'm already telling you, like, people can see through it, and you don't need to be a lawyer to see through it. But Wendy being on this show around women who are less lettered than her made her feel superior. And like I said, it's not like we have not seen these cultural dynamics before. Somebody of Nigerian descent, still racially black, but still has that attitude toward African Americans. I noticed that from the gate. It is what it is. People don't have to like it. They don't have to agree with it. That has been my individual experience. And so I recognize it. All right. So your mother who called her grandchildren, Wendy, her children at their like communion dinner or whatever, because she has to be the center of attention is making y'all look as guilty as I said y'all were fucking last week. That's number one. Wendy says that this was never about Naneka. It was about Wendy's sister and Naneka's in-law, Ivy, I think her name is, or one of them. Those people. They are no longer friends. And Naneka said, nice try. Okay, then Naneka went in. She said, no, your sister accused me of using your name to penetrate certain social circles, and they were mad. Your mother was mad, and so was your sister. And Wendy just up here with, I don't know what you talking about, da 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 da. Bitch, yes you do. I'm telling y'all, all that shit Wendy was doing at pickleball to the point where Naneka went off and called her out. And then she goes, you know what? I don't even want to do this. I don't have a conversation with you. And chose Mia, who we know she don't like, who she just called dumb and slow, and shouldn't like her because she threw water in her face. But it was just so desperate. It was a desperate attempt to get away and try to come up with a story. All the extra shit she was doing. Don't hate me because God worked overtime. Oh shoot. Now they done activated Eddie. Go there, baby, go there. It was given. I'm so glad Juan Dixon is not here right now. All that extra shit. And you go, what the fuck is going on? Wendy is a fucking liar. She is. She's lying about this shit. And it's not looking good. Okay? But I told y'all. People get so caught up in defending people for the sake of defending them. Anyway. Then Wendy did insert herself into the conversation and says, you knew exactly who I was, and you knew, and you came for your fellow Nigerian sister. You knew me, this, and the other. Bitch, that right there told me you sound real jealous. And basically you are mad that you are not the only Nigerian on this show. And certainly mad that you're not the only Nigerian educated person. That's what it's giving. Because I promise you, if Naneka was somebody who was just a housewife, even if she had only graduated college, not that that's not a huge accomplishment, but I'm just making a point. If that was the case, she would have felt so much better. But Naneka coming in as a lawyer, married to a doctor, she wants to be the one to control the narrative about Nigerians, and she wants to control it for the sake of being on a cast of African American women. See, I come in, I can teach them how to behave. Or see how my behavior is superior. I didn't grow up like them. That kind of shit. I'm telling you. I'm fucking telling you. All right? And Naneka exposed her. I don't even feel like it was like vicious. Like when somebody beats up on you and then you finally blow, you fucking blow. Anyway, they both went on and on. Honestly, to the point where we were all confused. I was like, huh? Records, T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, April 2nd, April 4th, April 6th. I said, what the fuck? Everybody had pretty much checked out. Okay, Ashley was over there trying to make sense out of it. And Robin was, Mia was over there talking, and she said, ooh, I wouldn't rob a bank with none of y'all. We're going straight to jail. Y'all talk too much. And Robin, when she started giving that hard, drunk laugh, I said, oh, Lord. I know what it is to get that drunk. You start laughing that hard at just anything. I said, y'all done drove all these people to drink. The end of the episode, though, when they did that flashback 3 years ago, I think that was Whitney's first season, right? Where she had, like, the presentation of her baby and a Nigerian ceremony, which was a nice episode. They went back in the archives and found the unseen footage where Naneka's sister-in-law not only was there, and Naneka's point was, nice try, like you didn't know her, your sister only knew her. Because not only did you know her, Wendy, you said this was somebody of integrity, of character, who you wanted your daughter to be like. Even Candace, Wendy's friend, is in the confessional, and Candace is like, yeah, it is hard for me to think or say that I would have invited somebody to a celebration for my child who I did not know, because that's just not what you do. Period. And I do think that Wendy has done this whole roundabout thing trying to make Naneka look bad secretly, so then she can look good on TV by remaining calm. People that always look like that, and then she got her ass handed to her. You did. Wendy, you're lying. Cut your losses, baby. Cut your fucking losses and apologize to Naneka. Okay? And I ain't sitting up here like, oh, I love Naneka's character. I don't. I don't, but bullshit is bullshit. And I'm not here for it. Also, side note, is it me? Although I don't want to insult the legendary, the beautiful Kelly Rowland. So this is not meant to offend her. But Candace kind of reminded me of her. You know how like there can be two people look alike and one's beautiful and one's not that cute? She was kind of giving Kelly Rowland tease to me. And is it me or is Candace using a foundation or a concealer that's too light for her? I'm just saying, colorism police, let us know. I could be wrong. It could just be the camera setup. Because if Wendy's mother and Candace are coming up like that, it just could be the makeup on the set. And considering that Giselle's makeup had hers looking like a caked up white woman, it is possible. Anyway, but those are just my thoughts. I will see y'all soon. And I'll be reviewing other stuff. I may actually end up doing Life After Lockup. It's sometimes it's just now that I know it's only gonna be an hour and a half. I thought it was going back to that 2 hour stuff. It was the last season. I just was like, I don't know that I could do that because a half hour makes a difference. But just other stuff I watched that I'll try to look into. But thank y'all so much for all your support, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.